Welcome to ICM 2026. Our program will begin in 10 minutes. Welcome to ICM 2026. Our program will begin in 5 minutes. Please take your seats. Welcome to ICM 2026. Our program will begin in 5 minutes. Please take your seats. Our program is about to begin. Please silence all cell phones and take your seats. Please welcome to the stage our members of the International Mathematical Union and ICM 2026 local organizing chairs.
Good afternoon, everyone. As we bring the 2026 International Congress of Mathematicians to a close, I want to begin with gratitude. To our speakers and participants, thank you for bringing your ideas, your questions, and your energy to Philadelphia. To our prize recipients, thank you for inspiring us with the depth and beauty of your work. To the volunteers, staff, sponsors, partner institutions, and organizing committees, this Congress could not have been done without your dedication, patience, and their extraordinary care. And to the worldwide mathematical community, thank you for making this gathering what it was meant to be. Not simply a program of lectures, but a meeting of minds and a celebration of our shared pursuit. During this week, we encountered remarkable mathematics. We have honored achievements that have transformed our field, heard ideas that will open new directions, and welcome younger mathematicians who will help shape decades ahead. Conversations began in lecture halls, in corridors, and in over coffee may grow into discoveries we cannot yet imagine. Through the generous funding of the Simons Foundation and in collaboration with the American Math Society, we were able to offer full funding through our international travel support program to colleagues from Latin America, Eastern Europe, Africa, Asia, and the Pacific. A total of 443 people attending the Congress from regions across the globe. Through support from the National Science Foundations, the American Mathematical Society was able to offer travel grants to 285 US mathematicians, and we welcomed over 3,000 total participants to the 2026 Congress. But an ICM leaves us with something more than the mathematics presented here. It renews the human connection on which mathematics depends. A short distance from here stands Independence Hall, where nearly 250 years ago, people met to debate the future of a new nation. They came from different experiences, interests, and convictions. Their discussions were intense. Their disagreements were sometimes profound, yet they shared a commitment to building something larger than themselves. They questioned one another, challenged one another, and searched for common ground. As mathematicians, we recognize something in that spirit. Our discussions, too, can be passionate. We question proofs, test assumptions, point out gaps, and defend ideas with conviction. To someone outside mathematics, such exchanges may occasionally sound like arguments, but at their best, they are not signs of disrespect. Quite the opposite. They show that we take one another's idea very seriously. We challenge a colleague's argument about the work that matters. We ask difficult questions because we want to understand more deeply. We disagree because truth deserves our best collective effort. In mathematics, careful criticism can be an expression of respect, and even the most vigorous debate can bring us closer together. Some of these ideas, or at least the great accomplishments of our colleagues, were honored at the ICM. Colleagues who were honored at the ICM spread far and wide. Through the live streamings of the opening ceremony, news articles, and social media posts. That spirit has been present throughout this Congress. Informal lectures and informal conversation and questions asked from the audience and ideas exchanged across fields, generation, language, and national borders. Mathematics give us a common language, but it's also our willingness to listen to one another, turn that language into a community. There's a saying that's often attributed to an American cowboy and humorist, Will Rogers. I never met a man I did not like. After this week together, perhaps we can adapt those words in a way that belongs especially to our profession. I never met a mathematician from whom I did not learn something. Everyone encountered offer that possibility. We learn from a theorem, from a question, from an objection, and from a different way of seeing a familiar problem. We learn not only from those who agree with us, but also, and often especially, from those who make us think again. For me, one of the greatest privileges of helping to bring this Congress to Philadelphia has been meeting and learning from so many of you and witnessing the generosity in which you share ideas and welcome one another. Now, I will go off script here a little bit to tell you something about my wife. She is always surprised how willing we are to share our ideas and thoughts. She listens to us over social events, over dinners, and say, boy, you guys tell everything there is. And to paraphrase, one time she said, you know what you do? It's like OpenAI calling Anthropic and asking them, tell me your best engineer so we can hire him. And Anthropic and give them the name. So this openness in mathematics cannot be matched anywhere outside academia, to my belief. I want to express my deep gratitude to the members of the local organizing committee. For several years, they gave their time, judgment, patience, and energy of the Congress. Most of their work was not visible, but it was essential. I was personally grateful to each one of them. I'm especially grateful to my co-chair, Yuri Chinkel, and Megan Fezzi, without whom we would not have been able to run things so smoothly. And it looks effortless, but their work was amazing. And they'll come. Also integral to the success of the ICM 2026 is also the talented team of Sparks and the Freeman Company. We are forever grateful for their deep knowledge of large events and guidance through the planning process of their support here in Philadelphia. Please join me in welcoming the ICM 2026 Local Organizing Committee to the stage. I would like to ask Yuri and Megan to step over to the lectern with me to give them a special round of applause, please. As we return to our homes, university, and research institutions around the world, let's carry with us more than new results and new problems. Let's carry new friendships, renewed collaboration, and a deeper appreciation to the community in which we belong. May the conversation begun here continue. May our disagreement remain vigorous and respectful, and may we keep learning from one another. Thank you for making ICM 2026 a memorable Congress. Safe travel, and I look forward to the day when we meet again. Thank you.
Time flies when you're doing math. We can't believe ICM 2026 is already ending. It has been an action-packed week, so let's look back on the highlights. I'm Michelle Rotella, your ICM TV host. I will be here to bring you the best moments from ICM 2026. From interviews with field medalists to candid conversations with meeting attendees, we are covering it all. Plus, we're introducing you to some amazing organizations at the forefront of the field. Let's check it out. I wish there was a way that I could support government policy that funds and protects math research and education.
Actually, we do that.
The AMS?
The American Mathematical Society, yeah. I'm Tyler.
I'm ICM host Michelle Rotella.
Very nice to meet you.
Why is it so important for mathematicians to get involved in advocacy?
One thing I would say to that is, what's the alternative? If we do not communicate to our leaders, our policymakers, our elected officials, what we need is mathematicians, which is unique amongst sciences and engineering generally, then we can't expect to be supported through, in particular, some of the changes we're experiencing with AI. So I'll say it is incredibly important that we advocate on behalf of our community, and it's important that we do it across the board. When we speak to the general public about mathematics, we encounter a reflex that's something along the lines of, I'm not a math person. So one thing that we can do as a community is be better public advocates for math, make people feel more comfortable, or more able to enjoy the mathematics that they learn and how they use it.
You co-authored a paper with many other researchers on the future of autonomous mathematics. Can you tell me what this could look like?
Honest answer, I don't know, and I think that's what's most exciting about it. Sometimes we can predict roughly which direction the future is going to go, but with this particular question, the spectrum of possibilities is very broad. So it could go all the way from one extreme where, for some reason, AI will plateau and mathematics will continue business as usual. Another extreme could be that AI systems can solve any math problem, and then we'll have to rethink how the whole field operates. Probably it will be somewhere in between, and the very fact that we don't know the answer yet, I think that's most exciting. We'll know in a few years.
I started to think about the mathematics of music. When you go to a museum, you don't look at 3 different paintings at the same time. When you read a book, you don't read 3 books at the same time. But somehow with music, you could hear multiple lines and they add to each other. The experience is better because of it. The brain cannot accurately understand 3 random lines, but if they have certain mathematical structures, then all of a sudden an individual can fully internalize them and fully understand them. If you just look at the data, all of a sudden these patterns start to emerge. You could just see them on the page. And that led us to a big question: where do those patterns come from? The new generation of organists are very much also engineers, mathematicians. And if they understood a lot of these mathematical structures, some of what they're learning in music will make more sense.
Dr. Tillman, it's so great to meet you. Congrats on being elected IMU president.
Thank you very much.
So what can we expect from you in the coming years?
Well, that's a good question. I hope to listen more to people and to find out what they want from the IMU. I'm more of an evolution rather than a revolution sort of person. I think we will need to step into action around AI. It's a very important new aspect for the community to understand what it means for us and how we deal with it. And I think that will need community effort, and hopefully the IMU can contribute to that in a meaningful way.
This is my first time at the ICM. It is amazing to see so many people who also love mathematics. It is amazing to be here, to be in the heart of, all this big event. There is a lot of people who also love mathematics for the beauty that it is, for the beauty that it reveals of the universe, which is also the reason why I started doing mathematics in the first place.
It was just a lifelong dream to be at the award ceremony where they award the Fields medals. I cried a bit because I couldn't imagine myself being here and meeting all these people. I just hope to connect to people and then to see what other people do and get inspired from them.
Mathematics is global. Mathematics can be done from any part of the world. And this is what is happening. People have been given awards from across the globe. It's giving me an eye-opener. It is good to do mathematics. It's applicable in all spheres of life. More importantly, the application is what is driving more people to be interested in mathematics today.
There were many beautiful feelings that were being shared, and the word universal, it was emphasized quite frequently that math is a universal experience. Math does not know any borders, and whatever is happening to the rest of the world, it is really good to see that math community still stands strong and we have this everlasting tradition. I kind of got chills, honestly. It's better than I imagined, definitely. I'm really glad to be here.
The ICM TV featured film series highlights innovative work in mathematics from across the globe. Meet teams crafting innovative solutions to real-world problems. Visit leading academic institutions from Boston to Beijing, each exhibiting excellence in both research and education. Meet experts using mathematics to shape our global society and economy. See a vast breadth of applications through teams dedicated to interdisciplinary mathematics. Envision a new frontier of possibility with the minds behind cutting-edge quantum computing. And finally, look to the future with institutions pioneering next-generation mathematical research. You'll find all of this and more on our official ICM TV 2026 playlist to make sure you don't miss a thing. We can't wait to see you in Glasgow for ICM 2030. Mathematics is moving at a rapid pace, and we're looking forward to seeing just how far we come in the next 4 years. I'm Michelle Rotella. I have had such a blast being your host here in Philadelphia. Travel safe and come back soon.
Dear colleagues, at the opening ceremony of this Congress, I began with a variation of a famous quote of President John F. Kennedy from 1962. We do these things not because they are easy, but because they are hard. I used these words when speaking about the prize winners and also about the invited speakers of the ICM. After the Congress we have just chaired and seen, including the prize winners' lectures, the plenary lectures, the invited section lectures, the public lectures, I think they even apply more strongly. Let me now recall at this closing ceremony the full quote from 1962 in its proper form. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. For us, in 2026, our current moon seems to be artificial intelligence. Of course, it is much more delicate to define what it means to set foot on this moon. But this Congress has shown how seriously our community is engaging with AI. We have seen this in many talks and panels, and it has been fascinating to follow the way mathematicians are trying to understand the transformation that may change not only how mathematics is done, but also how our society works. We have heard that difficulty itself is multidimensional, with different projections to humans and AI. What is hard for a human being may be easy for a machine. What is easy for us may be still very hard for AI. This shift of perspective is not only technically interesting, it forces us to ask what we value in mathematical work, how we recognize understanding, and how we transmit trust. In a sense, AI systems now do some things not because they are easy, but precisely because they are hard for us. And this has already opened new mathematical questions. We have seen recent examples, counterexamples, experiments, and discussions that make clear that this will be a very active and important front of research. The IMU Committee on Electronic Information and Communication, now called the Committee of Publishing, has also brought these questions to our attention a few months ago through the Leiden Declaration on Artificial Intelligence and Mathematics, which the IMU recently endorsed. We do not need to agree on every sentence of such a declaration in order to agree on the essential point. A major change is taking place, and the question it raises cannot be left unanswered by the international mathematical community. I would like to thank Tim Portuguese for his talk on the Leiden Declaration and all of the members of the panel discussion that follows. The Congress also reminded us that the future of mathematics depends on the integrity of the ways we communicate and publish our work. I would like to thank Lynn Heller for her lecture on fraud and publishing. These questions are important, and I'm very pleased that the IMU has an effective and active committee on publishing. I invite all of you to follow its recommendations and to take part in this continuing discussion. Another important IMU committee is the Committee for Women in Mathematics, CWM, chaired by Carolina Araujo from IMPA in Brazil. One of its flagship events is the World Meeting for Women in Mathematics, in short, WM Square, which was held just before the Congress on July 22. I would now like to invite Carolina to the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Carolina Araujo. I am researcher at IMPA in Brazil and chair of the Committee for Women in Mathematics. It has been a privilege to participate in and organize activities around the ICM 2026. I was an organizer of the satellite event WM Square, World Meeting for Women in Mathematics, and one of the 443 recipients of the ICM Travel Support Program. I would like to share with you some reflections on what this experience has meant to me. First, let me introduce the IMU Committee for Women in Mathematics. The CWM is the IMU committee dedicated to supporting women in mathematics worldwide. I invite you to learn more about our initiatives on our website. One of the flagship initiatives of the WM Square is one of the flagship initiatives of the CWM is the WM Square World Meeting for Women in Mathematics. The satellite event takes place on the day before the ICM opening ceremony with the goal of strengthening professional networks among women in mathematics and promoting their full participation in the ICM. The third edition of WM Square was held in a hybrid format here at the Pennsylvania Convention Center and online via Zoom on Wednesday, July 22nd. It was organized by CWM in partnership with AWM. We had a memorable day celebrating scientific excellence while fostering reflections, collaboration, and community. The program featured 4 outstanding lectures, some very rich group discussions we had over lunch, a very lively poster session, and also we ended with a panel discussing the future of mathematics. Let me share with you a few numbers from WM Square. We had approximately 280 registered in-person participants. Among those, approximately 150 were ICM travel support recipients from developing countries. We also had 120 online participants in Zoom, and in total, 78 different countries were represented in WM Square. So for many of us, WM Square was the beginning of our ICM journey. So for 443 participants from developing country, this journey was possible by the ICM Travel Support Program. This program is much more than just funding a trip. It creates opportunities for mathematicians from different parts of the world to participate in important discussions, to present their work, and to build new connections. These have been extraordinary days, filled with inspiring talks, exciting new developments, and precious conversations. As many speakers and panelists mentioned during the Congress, we are living through unprecedented changes and challenges brought about by AI. As a researcher from a developing country, I cannot conclude without expressing my deep concern about the impact these changes may have in exacerbating existing inequalities. I hope that our community will continue this discussion with a serious commitment to inclusion and to the democratization of science. Finally, I would like to warmly thank the local organizing committee and Simons Foundation for making the ICM Travel Support Program possible. I would also like to thank the International Mathematical Union and especially the Commission for Developing Countries for their commitment to this program. I am truly grateful for the opportunity to participate in and to organize activities around this ICM. Thank you all for your attention.
Carolina has just recalled the important work of the Commission for Developing Countries. I would also like to recognize its leadership, President Andrea Solotar, Secretary for Policy Ludovic Rifford, and Secretary for Grants José Maria Balmaceda. Sadly, Joey Balmaceda passed away while preparing to travel to the ICM. He devoted himself with great dedication to supporting mathematicians around the world through the CDC's grant program. We remember him with gratitude and honor his commitment to our mathematical community. I would ask to join me in honoring Joey Balmaceda's memory and his remarkable service to the international mathematical community. We often say that mathematical talent is evenly distributed, but opportunities is not. The hard work of the CDC is to reduce that gap and to make the international mathematical community worthy of its name. Let me recall briefly what this means in practice. The IMU Breakout Graduate Fellowship, short BGF, supports outstanding PhD students from developing countries. It has awarded 34 fellowships with 13 students currently in the program. All 21 alumni are now in university positions or postdocs around the world. This is a remarkable success. The program itself is made possible by generous donations from breakthrough prize winners, whose contributions through the Friends of the IMU help cultivate mathematical talent across the globe. The graduate research assistantships in developing countries, short GRADE, supports research groups by funding talented graduate students and connecting them with international partners. It has awarded 43 grants supporting master's and PhD students in 15 countries, all of them in CDC priority groups 1 and 2. These are among the poorest countries in the world. We are grateful to the American Mathematical Society for its continuous support, to the individual AMS members who donate to the program, and to SIAM and the Klaus Schirach Stiftung for additional funding. Both BGF and GRADE were created by former IMU President Ingrid Dubichy. The IMU Simons Research Fellowships enables mathematicians from developing countries to make extended research visits with international collaborators. Since 2024, it has already awarded 50 grants, reaching 25 countries. This is a remarkable program for international collaboration, and it's entirely funded by the Simons Foundation. The Abel Visiting Scholar Program, supported by the Abel Prize in Mathematics, has since 2013 helped young mathematicians carry out research visits abroad. It has awarded 41 grants and reached 18 countries. And finally, the IMU Conference Support Program brings mathematicians together across borders by helping conference and research schools include speakers and participants from developing countries, and has supported 429 activities in 73 countries since 2010. The IMU Volunteer Lecture Program connects experienced mathematicians with the universities in developing countries. Since 2007, it has supported 167 courses, reached 29 countries, and strengthened teaching in 46 institutions. It is funded by voluntary contributions from individuals and institutions, including the Niels Hendrik Abel Board and the American Mathematical Society. I mean, these are not abstract numbers. They are students who were able to finish their PhD, young researchers who met collaborators, regional conferences that welcomed the people who needed to be there, lecture courses that built local capacity, and mathematical communities that became stronger, more connected, and more visible. This is one of the central responsibilities of the IMU. We are not only here to celebrate the highest achievements in mathematics, we are also here to make sure the future achievements come from every part in the world. I would like to take this opportunity to thank our donors, the Breakthrough Prize winners, the institutional donors such as the Simons Foundation, the Abel Board, the Klaus Schirach Stiftung, the American Mathematical Society, SIAM, the Mathematical Society of Japan, the Swiss Mathematical Society, the Centre International de Mathématiques Pure et Appliquées, SIMPA, and the many, many individual donors whose generosity make this work possible. So let me now show you a short film about CDC.
I do not believe that there is a monopoly of talent in mathematics. I believe that mathematical talent is distributed well, but the opportunities are not.
Before the IMU, all I had were problems, but I couldn't solve any. It supports a lot. It bridges the gap between my aspiration or my goal and the resources which I need.
My science has changed from just the math that a teacher needs to teach a class to something global that the world can look up to, some research that you can do and make a contribution.
It changed me. It changed from no research to a person want to do more research.
So as impact, I would say that the volunteer lecturers program contributed to the building of the next generation of top African leading scientists.
It inspired me to do more and then give back more.
If we have more money, we could organize more of this stuff, get to more people, and essentially change a little bit the options for people that are working at the universities in Central America.
When you write your proposal and indicate that we have received funding from IMU, then it becomes very easy for the other sources to trust, to give credibility to your event.
This message is for them. I want to really thank them for their support, and I want to assure them that this female mathematician in front of them, they are supporting. I assure them that they will really be proud of her and they will really be proud of my work, my research work.
It's really good opportunity for bright people to shine and to have this opportunity to shine. So continue doing, and thank you very much for doing this.
And let me finally mention the International Commission on the History of Mathematics, ICHM, chaired by Clemency Montel from the University of Canterbury in New Zealand. The ICHM is an inter-union commission of the IMU and the Division of History of Science and Technology of the International Union of History and Philosophy. It aims to encourage the study of the history of mathematics and to promote historically and mathematical sophisticated scholarship. At this Congress, the ICM organized a symposium reminding us that mathematics has not only a future, but also a rich and diverse past that continues to shape the way we understand our discipline. The International Commission on Mathematical Instruction, ICMAI, chaired by Marilyn Goose from Australia with Jean-Luc Dorier from Switzerland as Secretary General, is another commission of the IMU. It is devoted to mathematics education at all levels. It promotes international collaboration, exchange, and dissemination of ideas on the theory and practice of mathematical education. It has deep roots in the history of the ICM. ICMAI was actually founded before IMU, during the International Congress of Mathematicians in Rome in 1908, with Felix Klein as its first president. It was therefore especially fitting that at this ICM, we also saw Ekaterina Marenko's film on Felix Klein. At this ICM, questions of education were also very present, including the roundtables on mathematics education in the advent of the AI era, and on teaching mathematics in multilingual spaces. This is the reminder that the future of mathematics depends not only on the mathematics we discover, but also on the way we teach it, share it, and make it accessible to the next generation. ICMAI also organizes the International Congress on Mathematical Education, called ICME. The next ICME, ICME 16, will take place in Prague from July 9 to 16, 2028. I warmly invite mathematicians, mathematics educators, teachers, and all those who care about the teaching and learning of mathematics to join our colleagues in Prague in 2028. Let me now turn for a few seconds, finally, to the IMU General Assembly, which met in New York on July 20 and 21, just before the Congress. So the General Assembly is the governing body of the IMU. This year, 157 delegates from 66 countries were present at the General Assembly. So you see the photo, it took us about 15 minutes to make it, and you see delegates at work on the photo on the left. The General Assembly took important decisions for the future of the Union, and I already mentioned some of them in my opening speech: the election of the new IMU Executive Committee, or the introduction of the new Ladyshenskaya Medal. Let me now mention the first resolution that has been passed at this General Assembly. This is Resolution 1. The General Assembly expressed its deep gratitude to the Organizing Committee of ICM 2026, chaired by Jalal Shatta and Yuri Chinkel, and coordinated by Megan Fatsi, for its dedicated work and excellent organization. I would like to associate myself strongly with this resolution. On behalf of the IMU, I thank Jalal, Yuri, Megan, the local organizing committee, the staff, the volunteers, and all institutions and partners who made this Congress possible. Thank you. And this brings us from ICM 2026 to the future. In Resolution 15, the General Assembly accepted the offer from the adhering organizations of Ireland and the United Kingdom to host the 21st IMU General Assembly in Dublin and the International Congress of Mathematicians 2030 in Glasgow. It will be held at the Concert Hall of the Royal Dublin Society in Dublin on July 8 and 9 regarding the General Assembly, and the ICM 2030 will then be held at the Scottish Event Campus in Glasgow, Scotland from July 11 to 19, 2030. And now I'm very pleased to invite all of you to Dublin, and most importantly, for the participants of ICM to Glasgow in 2030. I now invite Michael Wims and Tiffany Flower from the University of Glasgow to the stage.
So thank you. So I'm Michael Weems from the Glasgow Dublin ICM 2030 team. On behalf of that whole team, we look forward to welcome all mathematicians in 2030. The IMU General Assembly will take place in Dublin, Ireland, and the ICM itself within the Scottish Event Campus in Glasgow, UK. There are many things that only an ICM can deliver. New connections at scale between people who would otherwise never meet. Our whole ICM philosophy is based around the notion that it is people that make mathematics, and it's the ability to connect people that is the lens through which success of an ICM should be judged.
I'm Tiffany Flower, also from the Glasgow Dublin ICM 2030 team. We will shortly play a 7-minute video which explains the principles behind our bid. To us, mathematics is a conversation, and so we greatly welcome all of you to contact us with suggestions, comments, and concerns so we can deliver an ICM for the whole world. On behalf of the whole Glasgow Dublin ICM team, we look forward to welcoming you in 2030.
The simplest questions in life are often the hardest. Our bid starts with the very simple question: what is the purpose of an ICM? Thankfully, in mathematics, you are never alone. And so we asked.
We reached out to mathematical societies, adhering organizations, and most importantly, to experienced mathematicians from all over the world. From those conversations, we've distilled 3 key principles which underpin our bid.
Our first principle is that participants, including speakers, are always more important than the host. People make mathematics, and the International Congress of Mathematicians is a celebration of mathematicians, not a celebration of the host.
The UK has an established, substantial mathematical capacity forged over hundreds of years. We welcome new ideas and we celebrate the excellence of others.
And so, while the opening ceremony should contain all the pomp and cultural uniqueness of the host, we should always remember that it is celebrating mathematical excellence wherever that may be.
Our second principle is that we want participants to be collaborating, not commuting. To facilitate this, we have created a 2-kilometre Congress model with the explicit aim of maximising interactions between participants by minimising dispersal. Everything in our bid, all our math venues, hotels, accommodation, cafes, bars, restaurants and social venues are within a walkable 2-kilometre radius from here.
The most important mathematical conversations, the ones that happen in small groups, will find a natural home and flourish. With our dedicated collaboration areas, just steps away from many informal and relaxing venues, like cafes and bars, we are creating an ICM that feels open, welcoming. Bienvenidos a Glasgow, and perfect for collaboration.
Our third principle is that mathematics is internationally collaborative, and so the ICM should be internationally collaborative. We are very proud to present this first ever multi-country bid, with the General Assembly to be held in Dublin and the ICM itself here in Glasgow. Every aspect of our bid, from our logo to our philanthropy-funded Developing Countries Fund, is about collaboration, collaboration, collaboration.
The General Assembly will take place here in Dublin, in the Concert Hall of the Royal Dublin Society. In line with our values, any surplus from room hire costs will be reinvested by the RDS into supporting STEM education for school children and to support our wider mission of promoting mathematics in society.
So, what makes our bid unique? We are putting forward an innovative model on what we believe an ICM should be, focused on participants and collaboration. But in addition to that, there are plenty of other things that we have to offer.
There are over 4,000 student rooms from $55 per night within our 2-kilometre radius. And everyone can book these rooms, not just students. There are also 1,500 hotel rooms at the SEC itself, at $150 per night, and thousands of other rooms, all within the 2-kilometre radius, to suit every ICM participant.
Furthermore, the UK mathematical community has a strong and proud tradition of working with developing countries and of attracting philanthropic donations for mathematics. 글라스고로 여러분을 초대합니다.
Through this, our bid commits to raising $2.25 million for our Developing Countries Fund to fully fund 900 mathematicians from developing countries to attend the ICM.
Of course, there are also other reasons you might want to choose Glasgow for the ICM location, zoals het lekkere weer. During the longer summer evenings, there are many parks and attractions to visit, both within walking distance and easily reachable by train. Our Conference Rover train ticket gives 50% discount on train travel throughout your visit, allowing you to see the best scenery Scotland has to offer.
Which, together with the shared culture to be found in Dublin, will create a memorable experience. From sampling the famed Irish pub, to an enchanting evening walking tour of Dublin, and to our gala dinner to be hosted in the historic Grand Hall of the RDS.
Our social program will contain something for everyone, including 3 full nights of ceilidh dancing here at the Kelvin Grove in Glasgow.
We are proud to be a globally supported bid,
which has the full support of all the academic societies, governments and funding organisations in both the United Kingdom and Ireland,
and which is fully endorsed by the European Mathematical Society and many adhering organisations around the world.
For all these reasons, from our focus on participants and our 2-kilometre model, from the value we place on international collaboration, and above all to the participant experience you will feel here through the combination of our facilities and our very warm, friendly atmosphere, we very much look forward to welcoming you to Dublin and Glasgow in 2030.
ICM 2026 comes to its end. At the end, I'd like to thank all the people, let me see this, who are contributed. Sorry, it's, yeah, at the end of this closing ceremony, I'd like to thank those people who contribute to this ICM. I have 8 pages of list of those names, and they are just representatives, and I know that there are many other people who also contributed. At each end of the page, I will ask you to join me to thanking them. So first, I'd like to thank prize winners, plenary and invited speakers, public lecture speakers, and panelists, and speakers of short communication, presenters of posters, and people who make exhibitions and musics and movies and so on, and also chairs of talks and panels. And there are many volunteers. Thank you very much. Oh, it seems this is slightly long to be planned. So next, I'd like to thank IMU Executive Committee members. So at the opening ceremony, we announced the name of prize committees and program committees and section panels. We didn't mention the name of section panels, and we mentioned that that list is available on the IMU website. So this is already prepared, and if you go to the IMU website, you click to the ICM 2026, you can find the name of the list of section panels. And I want to mention IMU Executive Committee members because those program committees and prize committees are selected by Executive Committee members. So that was the starting point of the preparation of this ICM from the IMU side. So they are Christoph Stoger, Secretary General, Ulrike Tillmann, Vice President, Tatiana Tolo, Vice President, Mohamed Mustafa Hall, member at large, Nalini Joshi, member at large, John Hai-kun, member at large, Paolo Piccioni, member at large, Guta Ziegler, member at large, and Tamar Ziegler, member at large, and Carlos Kenny as past president. Let us thank them. And also, Christophe mentioned the Commission for Developing Countries. They worked hard for supporting the activities and the mathematicians in developing countries. So Andrea Solta, President, and Ludwig Uifold, Secretary for Policy, Jose Maria Balmaceda, Secretary for Grants. As Christophe mentioned, unfortunately, he died on the way to come to this ICM. So let us think about him for a moment for his works on this service. And Maputo Nobel Hong Kong, African member, Lutuan Hoa, Asian member, Maria Sel Trumpfa, Latin American member, Dea Chen, I'm appointed by IMUAC, KNN Lagavan, also appointed by IMUAC, and Anjun Halai, appointed by ICME-EC, so this is a Commission for Mathematical Instruction, which Christophe mentioned, and Marcy Casimir, also appointed by ICME, and Tamar Ziegler was liaison person from the IMUAC. Let us thank them. And I also want to thank IMU Secretariat who supported us the various activities of IMU. So first of all, this IMU Secretariat is hosted at the Weierstrass Institute in Berlin. This is the photo of the Weierstrass Institute. We are located in floor in this institute. And the member of the Secretariat is Dietmar Hemberg, treasurer, and Scott Young, manager, and Lena Koff for ICMI and CDC administrative manager, Maris Schimelo, accountant, and Birgit Zeliger, archivist, and Frank Kleppel, IT and technical support, and Vanessa Jung for community manager and grant administrator. Let us thank them. So, and finally, ICM is collaboration of all people involved. So I really like to thank all ICM 2026 participants for your collaboration. See you all in Glasgow in July 2030. Now we conclude ICM 2026. Thank you very much.